Hey everybody, it's Mr. D here again. Today we're going to look at how to use smart responders with your smart notebook presentations. A responder looks like this, and this allows your students to interact with your lesson. So we'll jump right in here, and the first thing we want to do is we want to click on this smart response icon. It should be in the bottom right toolbar on your desktop. And when we click on this, we'll get some options, and we want to go to Teacher Tools. Okay? So when we open up Teacher Tools, we'll get something that looks like this. I've set up several classes, so yours is going to look a little bit different if you haven't set a class up yet. So the first thing you want to do is add a class. You'll name the class, and there's a couple of other options there. Just give the class an identity, and then go to Students. And when you get to Students, you're going to want to enter all of your students from all of your classes if you plan on doing this presentation with all of your classes, and give each student a unique ID number. So if you have 70 students, you should have numbers 1 through 70. Okay? Now, once you've done that, you've got your classes all set up. You only have to do it one time, and you're ready to go. You can use it all year long. Okay, so we're going to look at how to, real quickly, if you haven't built a smart assessment yet, I'm going to do this real quickly with you. So you open up a new smart notebook. You click on your smart response icon over here in the left margin, and it's going to give you some options. The first thing I would do is I would add a title page. So I'm going to do that real quickly. I'm just going to name it Science, and subject is the solar system. Okay, and I'm going to add that. It will create a title page for me. I can double click in here and change these fields if I want to. That's up to you. I would normally change these so that it reflected the class. Okay. So let's look over here. We want to select this option right here, add a question to the next page, and when you click on it, it will give you some options, what type of question you want to ask. I'm going to choose a multiple choice question, and I'm going to hit next, and it prompts me to write the question first. So I'm going to write it, how many planets are in the solar system? Okay, and go next. Now it wants the possible answers, and you'll want to make sure you choose how many choices that you're going to offer. So I'm going to choose 4, A, B, C, or D, and I'll put these in here. 1, and 8, 9, if you still count Pluto, and we'll have the last answer kind of a gimme. What is a solar system? Okay. Then I'll hit next, and now it's asking me what is the correct answer for this question. That way the program grades it accordingly. So I'm going to choose 8. I'm going to make it worth 1 point. You can choose however many points you want this to be worth. You could add an explanation if you wanted to. This is not necessary for the assessment, but for review purposes, if you wanted to add an explanation here, you could. Okay, I'm going to hit finish now, and it's going to give me the question here. Now, this is the way it's going to look for the students. You can actually dress this up to look like a regular presentation. I could add some background to it if I wanted to. Maybe go with a little gradient fill in the background. I could add a little bit of media if I wanted to, like pictures. I've got some pictures here. I'll take one of these and add it to it, just to make it look a little bit more interesting. Okay, put this over here. Okay, so now I have my smart assessment. Now I would normally do several questions, but for time's sake, I'm just going to do the one. So there I have my one question. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my class and get these students in my class so that they can have a live experience with this presentation. So I'm going to go back to my Teacher Tools here, and I'm going to go to start the class here. I can do this from the Home tab. I can do it from here. I could just click that and it will start the class, so those students are active. I'm going to go from the Home tab so you can see it. It's right here, Start Class. I'm going to hit Start Class, and you'll notice I have 3 students in that class, and I'm going to wait for them to log in. And it should look like this. I'm going to pull up a simulator and show you what it looks like. Once they turn it on, they're going to look for a class. So they're just going to hit enter, and it's going to be, and it found my class. Here's my smart class. So I hit joining smart. Now the first thing it does is it asks for an ID. So if you remember, my first ID I believe, was 100. So I'm going to click that in here. I'm going to click 100, enter. Mike Brown, that's right. That was Mike Brown. So if that's Mike Brown, I hit yes. Okay, now Mike's in there. Now I have a couple of other students, if you remember. So I am now going to, I have a couple of handhelds that you can't see, but I'm going to go ahead and get those started here. Okay, and let's see, I'm going to have the other join. See if it finds it. Okay, I got Sally Green in now. You notice that she was just entered into the class. And I've got one last responder that's trying to find the class. Okay, here we go. And this is Buddy Holly, I believe. And Buddy Holly is now in. Okay, so I have all 3 students now that have joined. Now I'm going to open my Smart Assessment back up. Okay. I'm going to go back one here. And I'm going to hit Start This Assessment. So I'm at the beginning screen here. I'm going to hit Start This Assessment. And once I do that, notice it's who are we waiting for. Now, I've got, I'm going to open up my results preview and then also who we're waiting for as far as an answer goes. Okay, so I'm going to go to my first question, my only question actually. And I'm going to open these back up. I like to open these up so students can see what's going on, and you as the teacher can see who all has answered and who hasn't. Now you can see how much more interesting this is than having them just do it anonymously. But also, this will automatically calculate your results. So pretty cool if you want to take a grade for it, if you want to do like a little quiz this way. Okay, so here we go. This is what the responder will look like once it's started. Question set, and it's got question 1 here. So I'm going to answer this question. How many planets are still in the solar system? Well, if you thought Earth was the only planet, you'd answer 1. There's actually 8, so I'm going to answer B here. So I'm going to go over here and find B. There's B. Enter. Now notice what it did. Here, it's starting to create a pie chart for me. So I'm going to go over here to another student. I'm going to answer A. And see, and so now it's splitting the answers for me. And I'm going to answer another one for B. So you can see now that once the students had answered, they had disappeared from this still waiting for area, which is a kind of a nice option because you can remind students that they need to stay on track. Okay, that's it. And I can stop this assessment now and look at some results. And that's really the essence of it. So if you get your students into a gradebook, build your assessment, make sure you start your class first in the teacher tools. So you want to start your class, and then you want to start the assessment in Smart Notebook. There you have it. Give it a try, play with it a little bit. I think you'll find it's a lot easier once you've done it a few times, and get those responders in your students' hands. Have a good one, and we will see you next time.